All elections here in Bexar County, says she's getting ready to call it a career. Jackie Callanan's resignation accepted unanimously by the County Elections Commission this afternoon. She'll stay on through at least the end of the year. The Night Team's John Paul Barajas there as it happened and has what voters can expect going forward.
I, Lucy Adame Clark, Bexar County Clerk, Elections Commission, accept the resignation of retirement of Jackie F. Callan, Bexar County Elections Administrator.
For the past 19 years, Jackie Callanan has been tasked with running elections in Bexar County. Now, she's preparing for retirement.
You always seem to go back and forth, I think, after an election's wrapped up. Are you ready to walk away?
Yes. I'm very, very proud of the record.
Callanan says throughout her time, she's been a part of 358 elections. But her 2 decades of service did not come without some criticism.
Enough is enough, and it's time for the administrator to step aside and let a new leader reform Bexar County elections.
At least 10 people voiced concerns during public comment at Friday's Bexar County Elections Commission's meeting.
The numbers are measurable to see how Jacqueline's administration really affects the voter turnout here in San Antonio, so we're really looking to change that.
Reevaluate the culture that they have going on currently. I would like it to be more culture, more inclusive, more collaboration.
After public comment, the commission unanimously accepted Callanan's resignation. But her job isn't finished just yet, with the November presidential election coming up.
To start what we finished, I'm very, very proud of what we've had. And this year is going to be contentious. It would be a blessing to be able to complete this and give the citizens of Bexar County a clean election like we've always done.
According to Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai, Callanan will carry out her duties until January 1st, 2025. But he says the county will start a nationwide search for a suitable replacement soon.
Somebody that will maintain election integrity, somebody that has the depth and knowledge of election laws. Need to find a person who has the extraordinary ability to communicate.
As for what role Callanan might have in elections in the future?
A voter.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
In terms of the verdict of the jury, it said you did 10, or rather 8 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and will give you credit for time served. There is a $5,000 fine.
Might have been kind of hard to hear there, but 8 years. That's how long Samantha Castillo, this woman, will spend in jail. A jury handing down that verdict just a couple of hours ago after deliberating all day long. Earlier this week, Castillo pled guilty to driving drunk and killing bicyclist Beatriz Gonzalez back in April of 2021. Castillo facing anywhere from probation to 20 years behind bars. Meanwhile, a group of cyclists gathering tonight for more than just a bike ride. Several of them were actually at the courthouse before Samantha Castillo's punishment was announced. The group participating in what's called the Last Friday Ride, a tribute to fallen cyclists like Beatriz Gonzalez. We caught up with that group at the Pearl before their ride around the city. We talked with Veronica Salas about tonight's verdict.
Honestly, I would like to say that it's a big victory, but it's just a stepping stone into what changes need to be made for the community.
Veronica went on to say there was a sense of relief after that verdict was read. 2 former law enforcement officers charged, and we continue to follow the major legal action playing out in Uvalde. And tonight we know more about the 2 men indicted by that grand jury yesterday. Former Uvalde School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo and former school district officer Adrian Gonzalez facing charges in the botched law enforcement response at Robb Elementary on May 24th of 2022. Gonzalez turned himself in earlier this afternoon. He is facing 29 counts of child abandonment and endangerment. That number reflects the 19 students who died in the shooting, along with the 10 who survived. He was in jail but bonded out at $10,000. Arredondo himself turned himself into authorities yesterday. He's facing 10 counts of the same charges, child abandonment and endangerment. The number reflects the survivors of the shooting at Robb Elementary. He also bonded out of jail on $10,000. Now, those charges are different. That's one question we still have is about the disparity of those charges between the 2 men. KSAT reached out to Uvalde County District Attorney Christina Mitchell's office today and asked why Gonzalez is facing 29 counts of child abandonment and endangerment, while Arredondo, who was allegedly in charge of the entire thing, is only facing 10 counts. The DA's office declined to comment. Meanwhile, some family members of the shooting victims are waiting, hoping more indictments will come. Brett Cross is a guardian to Uzziah Garcia. He had this to say.
It's a good start. It's a good step. And I hope that that's all that this is that they're going to continue moving forward with others, because if you're going to put all of the 376 officers were there for 77 minutes and you're just going to put the blame on solely 2, then that's not enough.
We'll continue to follow this story, of course. Stay with us online at KSAT.com. On the Nightbeat, cleanup underway tonight after what was an ugly house fire. Take a look at the aftermath. You can see where the flames just ripped through the roof. This is on a street called Burning Sunrise Drive. It's kind of ironic in and of itself. It's on the northeast side, not far from Ben Zingelman and Ackerman Road. It all started around 7:30 this evening. Crews say the flames likely broke out in the chimney, but it's not clear what sparked it. Luckily, no one was hurt tonight. The search continues to fill the director's seat of Animal Care Services in San Antonio. More than 70 people have applied for that job. The city says interviews have narrowed this search down to single digits. As the 19's Avery Everett shows us, community members say big expectations in store for the city's latest hire.
Nobody wants to be at risk of this anymore. It's got to stop.
A plea and a call to the city.
It's time to do something different.
As the city searches for its new Animal Care Services director, community members like Beatriz de los Santos want leaders to stop and listen.
People like us have experienced everything that happens afterwards.
She wants the community to be involved in this decision that she says will impact the entire city. And that's because her husband, Max, suffered from a dangerous dog bite.
Max had 2 amputations. It was the hardest thing that any person can go through.
Where do you find the strength as a family to push through and still advocate for change in San Antonio?
I think the love that I have for my husband, the love that I have for humanity.
The city says this director search process is still ongoing. As of Friday night, no announcement has been made if a candidate has been selected, and there's no timeline on when this decision will be finalized.
A spokesperson for the city confirmed 4 final applicants have interviewed with panels. They were comprised of city executives, ACS advisory board members, and local animal welfare advocates. But people like Kelly Walls wish the city included more of the community in this discussion.
I feel that the city missed an opportunity to have those individuals that could lend their voices to talk about the true impact.
Especially people like the De Los Santos family.
They also did not include any victims of the dangerous dog attacks who could tell them about the struggles that they had.
Now with the prosthetics, it's given him so much hope.
Max De Los Santos is in recovery, but as the city narrows its search,
anything can happen outside our door, and we need to be very vigilant.
The San Antonio community is still on standby. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
We wish Max all our best. Well, neighbors have complained of fires, smoke, dust from salvage yards around their homes. For months, we've reported on concerns about 2 city codes related specifically to metal recyclers. Community members have raised concerns about enforcement and compliance, saying when this doesn't happen, San Antonio's safety is at risk. Well, these codes are expected to change soon. This week, the Planning and Community Development Committee approved the creation of a new task force to tackle that issue. Community representatives, industry experts, neighborhood associations, city staff will be part of that task force, we're told. They'll present their recommendations to the city early next year. Today marking the first day of the Pueblos Mágicos market at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. It's a 3-day event that's marketing towards towns in interior Mexico. They want you to come visit. Mexico's Secretary of Tourism was at the event today. We have an interview with him right now on KSAT.com that you can check out. By the way, this is the first time this event has ever been held in San Antonio. Let's go now to your Nightbeat news flash. First, the Texas Supreme Court will allow the state's new near total ban on gender-affirming care for minors to remain in place. In an 8-1 decision, the court overturned a lower court's block of that ban while a challenge to the law was heard. The law bars Texas healthcare providers from providing gender transition surgeries, puberty blocking medication, or hormone therapies to those under the age of 18. On Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court will decide whether former President Donald Trump is immune from criminal prosecution. It's arguably the most anticipated and consequential case that High Court has heard so far in this term. Again, they will decide, we're told, on Monday. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. Happening right now, yet another round of closures in effect in Northwest San Antonio. Those closures went into effect just a little more than an hour ago at I-10, at Loop 1604, all part of this Loop 1604 North expansion project. The various lane closures set to be in place until Monday morning at 5 a.m. If you've been stuck in that weekend traffic before, you know it is not fun. So you're going to want to plan your commute ahead this weekend if you're heading in this area. Also, we've got a way for you to do that. It's basically go to KSAT.com and we have your traffic authority. All right, it's hard to say thank you to someone who's put in 35 years of service. We're going to try tonight, though. Next on the Nightbeat, I sit down with Don Survey. Look at that picture of Don, a man who's been directing KSAT 12 newscasts for the past 3 decades. Okay, all this week, we are saying goodbye to members of the KSAT family who are retiring, and we wanted to make sure they got the chance to say goodbye in their own words. Tonight, a man who has spent his KSAT career behind the scenes, making sure things run smoothly, and perhaps pulling off the impossible, making those of us on the anchor desk look good. Don Survey has sat in that KSAT director chair for life-changing events like flooding coverage, hurricane evacuations, and Spurs celebrations. He's directing this very newscast, and tonight, after 36 years, this is Don's last show. He's a true professional, a dedicated director, and my friend. Probably lost it when Donnie was insulting me. We are sitting down with director, baseball fantasy league commissioner, and friend of mine, Don Survey. Don, how long have you been at KSAT?
36 years.
Have you thought about what it's going to feel like when you're not in this room?
I try not to think about that, because in many ways I'm kind of looking forward to it, but in other ways, I'm going to miss it.
Taking a look at golf right now, we have Jay Haas broke away from a traffic jam with 4 straight birdies on the back 9.
And I'm going to miss the people working with that I've had close contact with over the years.
What are some of your fondest memories?
Probably the best 5 hours I ever had here was the night that the Spurs won their very first World Championship. Yep. Because I was in the control room that night. I was directing. We were on the air for 5 straight hours, and it was great seeing people stopped in the middle of the I-35 and getting out of their cars and high-fiving each other.
A drinking binge ends in a fire at a Northeast side motel. A police officer noticed flames shooting from the door of the room at the Fireside Inn on Austin Highway about 7:30 this morning.
What do people need to know about you or KSAT or both?
That KSAT will carry on because it's a great station. It's the people here work very hard. You and the rest of the team do phenomenal work, and you're going to carry on. I think it's just time for a lot of us veterans here to kind of take it easy,
to enjoy yourselves.
Right. To goodbye tension. Hello, pension.
All right, you know what? We said he worked behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, no more. Donnie is in the spotlight right now. This is a live picture of our control room. We wanted to wish him the best. And oh yeah, there's Adam Caskey ready for action.
Hey, this is bittersweet. Now we celebrate. Yeah, baby, Don! Oh, congratulations, buddy. Congrats.
Oh, my gosh.
So happy for you. I hope I didn't ruin your equipment.
It's a mess now.
You've had a wonderful career, a lot to be proud of, and you deserve a fantastic retirement now.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure to be here with you.
Right.
Pleasure.
All right.
Consummate professional.
Yeah, what I love about this the most Yeah, Don tells him to get out there. What I love about this the most, Don, is you're clearly not comfortable being on camera. And that's what I like most of all, is putting you on the spot, putting you in the spotlight, but you deserve it, buddy. Thank you for all that you've done for KSAT. Yeah, he's all right. Enough of me.
Yeah, get that camera off me,
Get that camera off me. Let's do weather.
Well, and that whole generation of broadcasting coming up in the thick of broadcasting and broadcast news, as it was still kind of getting its feet and figuring out what we're doing and technology changing from big tapes to little tapes to
no tapes
to note tapes now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. So congrats, Don. We're happy for you.
I'm glad we were able to pull that off live, because that's,
it's a celebration. It's a celebration. It's been a tough day, but it's also a celebration. All right, let's take a look at our sunset this evening from Taylor. And this is down at Woodlawn Lake Park. And he did mention, I gather the Saharan dust has arrived. LOL. See a little extra vibrancy. Little sunrises and sunsets are a little more vibrant with the Saharan dust that comes here every summer, all the way from Africa. We have light amounts of it right now. But into tomorrow, higher concentrations will move into the Gulf of Mexico. And by Sunday, that's when those higher concentrations and more dense dust will move overhead. Now, for most of us, it's just going to be a more noticeable haze in the sky. And of course, the sunrises and sunsets just looking a little extra crisp and vibrant. If you have an extremely sensitive respiratory system, you may notice a little bit, but even the air quality forecast for the weekend isn't anything abnormal for this time of year. Here's what we're watching down in the tropics in the Caribbean. This area where I have the X, that's basically a cluster of thunderstorms, a broad area of unorganized activity that's moving westward. Last week, we were able to tap into that. This week, or early this weekend, it's going to pass to the south of us. Get as close as the Rio Grande Valley, but for us, we're talking a 10% chance of showers, mainly along the Gulf Coast and south of San Antonio, Saturday and particularly Sunday. I also want to point out, we have a new tropical storm, Beryl. Tropical storm Beryl headed westward. It's way out in the Atlantic, but it is likely to turn into a hurricane, possibly even Cat 2 as it gets into the Caribbean by next week. And notice this is middle of next week near Jamaica. Thereafter, it could affect the U.S. It may not. Nobody knows just yet, so time will tell. We'll have a better idea next week of where that's going, or even the remnants of it. 99, our high temperature today, 4 degrees shy of the record. Tomorrow, very similar, upper 90s locally. Port SA 99, Poteet 98 degrees, Bernie at 95. And Sunday will trim off a few degrees because of that tropical moisture. It's going to throw a little extra cloud cover our way, so 96. But keep in mind, when you factor in the humidity this weekend, it will feel like it's anywhere from 105 to 109. So here's a look at our live cam, and you can see downtown pretty clearly on the left hand. Oh wait, no, never mind. This is the airport live cam. Notice that once you get higher up in the sky, kind of like the vantage points of these live cams, you'll notice the dust this weekend, especially by Sunday, and it's going to last into next week as well. So that's what the haze will be.
All right. Thank you, Adam. By the way, when it comes to the Olympics, I'm rooting for all the Americans and that Victor Wembanyama does not get hurt.
Yes, that's a good wish list, or yeah, I agree. I like that plan. All right, so Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert are seriously going to be a problem in the Paris Olympics. The latest from Wemby and much more NBA talk coming up. Plus, Cowboys offseason edition, Eric Kendricks excited to reunite with Mike Zimmer and excited to meet Cowboys fans in the Alamo City tomorrow. The details right after the break. Victor Wembanyama is making his Olympic debut this summer as the focal point of the France roster, and that's with four-time Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert on his team. France has never won Olympic gold, but they've also never had the best two defenders in the world at their fingertips. France held its first full practice today in Paris. The U.S. doesn't report for another week. And when asked about the possibility of battling the U.S. for gold in his home city, Wemby said it would be a dream and very interesting as far as the matchup goes. Now, Team USA's roster is like an assembly of the Avengers. LeBron James, Steph Curry, KD, AD, Kawhi, Tatum, so much superstar power. The opening ceremony is July 26th. Reeling it back to the 2024 NBA draft that wrapped up yesterday on the East Coast, the Spurs feel like they hit the jackpot by drafting Stephon Castle, number 4 overall. Not only can Castle make an immediate impact for San Antonio, but his journey up the basketball ranks included a year at UConn where he won a national title under Dan Hurley's winning formula, which includes his tough coaching style, and that played a big role in the Spurs picking him. All right, what's next for the Spurs Summer League? Our first look at the new draft picks and beyond will begin at the Sacramento, California Classic next Saturday, July 6th with the Charlotte Hornets. Next day, they take on the Kings Summer League squad, and they'll close out Cali play Tuesday, July 9th with China. After that, the Spurs will leave for the Las Vegas Summer League tournament. The DeJounte Murray-Trae Young experiment in Atlanta has come to an end. The Hawks are trading Murray to the Pelicans for a package, including some first-round picks and forward center Larry Nance Jr., along with a young wing in Dyson Daniels. This putting an official end to the rumors of Murray reuniting with the Spurs. Well, it was written in the stars. Linebacker Eric Kendricks signing with the Cowboys this offseason to rejoin forces with his former head coach Mike Zimmer. The 10-year NFL veteran is a valuable addition to Dallas between his leadership, talent at middle linebacker, and of course, his familiarity with Zimmer's defense. Now, Kendricks spent most of his career, 8 years to be exact, in Minnesota, and was with the Chargers last season. But Kendricks already knows San Antonio is home to many Cowboys fans, and he actually played in the Alamo Dome in college.
I played in the Alamo Bowl versus Kansas State. Tyler Lockett was going absolutely nuts, but we won. That was my last game as a Bruin, and it was a big win. And we finished it with a bang. So I'll never forget that moment. We did the whole Alamo tour and everything like that. Is it called the River Walk or what is it? Is it
the River Walk?
Yeah, the River Walk. We did all that. But it was a lot of fun.
Well, Kendricks is making another trip to the Alamo City tomorrow for a meet and greet at WSS on the northeast side of town beginning at 10 a.m. Now, our full interview with Kendricks is online at KSAT.com in the sports section. He shared some great stories with us, so be sure to check that out. All right, what the U.S. needs to do to advance at Copa America right after the break. Last night, the U.S. men's national team muddied up their road to advance past group play at Copa America after falling to Panama. Now, here are some scenarios the Americans need to advance. Listen closely. The U.S. must beat 15-time Copa champion Uruguay on Monday if Panama beats Bolivia, or the U.S. could advance with a tie against Uruguay if Panama and Bolivia also play to a draw, and the Americans have a better goal difference than Panama. The Americans would advance with a tie if Bolivia beats Panama as well, or the U.S. could advance even with a loss to Uruguay if Bolivia beats Panama and the Americans have a better goal differential than Panama and Bolivia. But the best case scenario, just win.
Just win?
Yeah, just win.
Just beat the 15-time champion,
Just do that. It's easy.
Thanks, Mary. We'll be right back. As we said, after 36 years, this is the last newscast for Don Survey. He's retiring. He came to every newscast today. He did. Directed the 10.
Yep, and he was in our ears. Congrats, Don.
Congrats, Don.
Love you, bud.